Welcome back, guys, to another video. Today we're taking the TTRS out today. We're just taking it for a drive. Figured we haven't done a POV video in a long time, so while it's going ahead and warming up, I guess I could start the intro off to this video. I've had the Unitronic Stage 2 tune on this car for quite some time now. I'd say almost about 6 months. And I figured, hey, let's do a POV video. We'll talk about the pros and cons. Is there a noticeable difference about going from Stage 1 over to Stage 2 on the platform? So we'll go ahead and get right into it. So I had Stage 1 for just over a year, in which the only things required for it was I think it was to have mid pipes on the car. You didn't even need to have an aftermarket exhaust. You could technically do it with the stock exhaust, but I technically ran the Stage 1 Unitronic tune with a stock intake. I did have an AWE on it, but you could run the stock intake as long as you have mid pipes. I had Unitronic mid pipes at the time, but that was it. That was all that was needed for Stage 1. It gave me, it gives you enough power to have as a fun car on the weekend, and I loved it. I have zero complaints with the Stage 1 tune, but I wanted to do a little bit more. So I did go to Stage 2 around February of this year, in which the requirements for those was a whole plethora more of like hardware needed to actually run it. So at that point, I kind of did it all at once. I got the integrated engineering turbo inlet along with the STM callus downpipe, Unitronic intercooler. With Unitronic, in order to avoid having the pesky wastegate rattle that you typically get on these cars when you go catless or high flow catted, you need to run the upgraded injectors on the car in order to get the wastegate rattle fix flash tune file, or at least it was for me. I worked with the support and they said that was the only way. So I just went ahead and got the Stage 2 tune after that, and it did fix the wastegate rattle for the most part. After I went ahead and got everything installed on the car, all good to go, went ahead and installed it. You guys probably seen in the last videos if you've watched. If you're new to the channel, I do have a video down below of tuning the car, going through the whole process of it for Stage 2, and that's a videos that we did a couple months back on the car. But overall, it's been great. I enjoy Stage 2. We'll go over some, I guess, pros and cons of the tune in comparison to Stage 1 of what I've noticed. I'll say from a power standpoint, it really just drives the same as Stage 1. There isn't really too much of an edge that you get unless you're in the upper band, anywhere above 4,000, 5,000 RPM, and you're like max boost, where you can kind of feel a little bit of a difference between the two. But other than that, not really much of a difference. If we talk about sound difference, though, there definitely is a sound difference from Stage 1 to Stage 2. So I can't speak on behalf of those who are running catted and the sound difference there. I'm not sure if there is a big difference sound-wise, given that the cat still exists on the car, or at least a high flow one. But at least for catless, the sound is completely different than the stock downpipe, and I love it. I think it sounds great. You still can't hear, even with the wastegate rattle fix, you can still kinda hear a little bit of wastegate rattle, but once you actually get on it, you can't really hear it anymore. So it's really just that lower RPM range where you can actually hear the wastegate rattle kick in. And another thing that they did for the Stage 2 tune was they revised the pops and the crackles that you get on the car. With stock and Stage 1, it's kind of just like a 1 or 2 crackles that you get after letting off. With this, you do activate it by going into dynamic or having the car in sport mode on S on the actual gear shift. But once you do that, you can hear, I hope the mic audio picks it up, but you can hear that they revised the exhaust crackle pops. It sounds amazing. I think it's just enough when driving. It's not super obnoxious, and obviously if you do want to turn it off, just hop out of sport mode and you won't have to worry about it anymore. So that was definitely one of my favorites. When I had the AWE exhaust still on the car with the catalyst downpipe, it sounded all amazing and fantastic, but it was just ridiculously loud. So it wasn't something that I could deal with at the time with the daily driver. I may put the AWE exhaust back on. I don't really know yet. Now that we have the S4 and this is no longer a daily driver to me, whether I just want to, you know, deal with the relatively okay exhaust sounds that this car has, or go back to the AWE and just be like ridiculously loud. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. We may. It's still sitting in my basement right now, so we may put it back on. Oh my god, it just sounds so good. I do have the windows up to avoid the like wind noise, because the wind noise is going to overtake the exhaust sounds, but it's just, this 5-cylinder is just insane. I love this car. It's so crazy having, like, hopping out of the S4 and having like that instant torque, the manual driving feel, and just getting in this car. It's just, they're not the same. They're completely different in their own ways, with one being turbo and one being supercharged. Oh, Viper, you don't see those two often. Completely two different cars, and I'm so happy with the S4. It's just, they're two completely different driving experiences. One, turbo, automatic DSG, you get all the fun, you get the quick shifts, and then you go in the S4 and you get a, you know, raw manual experience paired up with a supercharger. It's amazing. But going back over to the Stage 2 tune, you know, I already talked about the exhaust cracks, pops. One thing I did notice with this car is, or at least with the Unitronic tune, I'm not sure as far as other tunes go, but they do get rid of the cold start. So there's no cold start on this car. It does kind of basically just start in the warm start status. The RPMs are already at 700, 800 RPM, just sitting there. It does make this like weird, like it sounds like the car's hesitating when you first start it up. Kind of sounds funny, kind of sounds cammed for like half a second, but that's one thing I noticed with the car. I would, even though it's catless and, you know, there isn't a need for a cold start, I still would just prefer to have it on the car, just to have it on the car. It never really bothered me to have a cold start or anything like that, so I can't necessarily complain. But that was one thing I noticed with Unitronic's Stage 2 software. One thing I will say as well, just that we're talking about it and the RPMs and such, if you are getting any Unitronic software, Stage 1, Stage 2 software, I'm not quite sure for Stage 3, the rev limiter that you get in neutral and park does still stay the exact same. It does not change. It still stays at, I mean, maybe they bump it up to 4.5. I think that's what Unitronic goes up to. I could pull over at some point later on the video and park and rev it to see. But I know with, like, my brother has, I think, I already forgot, I think 034 and I believe IE as well. Both of the tunes on those, there's no rev limiter. You could rev it all the way up to 6,000, 7,000 RPM if you want to in neutral, as bad as it is for the car. You can do it, but that's just one thing I noticed with the Unitronic software, where it does still limit you. Oh, these roads are great. Another thing that I worried about with going Stage 2, or at least when I added the wastegate fix file onto the car, because it was my daily driver, I originally thought, I was like, oh, you know, upgrading the injectors to Unitronic, you know, is it going to crucially kill my fuel economy on the car? You know, going bigger injectors than what the stock could handle. I was like, great, we're just going to burn more fuel economy when you know, driving to and from work. But there really hasn't been much of a difference. I'd say that it definitely is much harder to, like on the highways, I would average anywhere from 28 to 30. I'll say I can still average 28 to 30 on the highway with this car, but it is a little bit harder. You do kind of have to drive it like a baby in order to get that type of fuel economy. But I'm not going to say it's impossible. I really haven't noticed too much of a difference with the upgraded injectors as far as fuel economy goes. It's been the exact same, and I've had no complaints with it. If there's anybody out there who's looking to go from stage 1 to stage 2, you know, if you plan on building the car, by all means, you know, go for it. You're going to need to do the necessary requirements regardless of buying $500 upgraded injectors, downpipe, intercooler, all, you know, you're gonna do that anyways. If you're going to stage 2 just to go to stage 2, and that's kind of your top limit, you don't plan on modifying the car any more than that. Oh, great downshift. Then I wouldn't recommend it. It's just the amount of difference that you get with the car from going 1 to 2 based off of how much you're paying to go from 1 to 2, you're paying somewhere around, I mean, downpipe, intercooler, injectors, all the necessary requirements, you're looking at $2,000, $3,000, and that's not even including labor. So that's something to just keep in mind. There's not too much of a power difference or a noticeable power difference when you're going from stage 1 to stage 2. So it's not my recommendation if you're planning on stopping with stage 2, just because you know, you're putting a lot of money into it just to get like just a little bit more out of the stock turbo. But yeah, if you do plan on building the car, you know, doing IMS or throwing a TTE turbo in there, maybe building the bottom end, then it's all the necessary hardware you need for anyways. I do plan on building this car. I'd like to go as far as I can with it. Whether I blow it up and build the bottom end or just build the bottom end before it blows up, I don't know yet. Still got plenty of plans for this car, and zero plans on this car leaving the channel just because of absolutely how much fun it is. They don't make it anymore, the TTRS, and they are going away with the 5-cylinder reportedly. So appreciate you all hanging in there with me, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any additional questions, comments, concerns with Unitronic Stage 2, or any questions about the mods I have on the car, so I'll go ahead, I'll end the video here. I do want to thank you guys for watching. If you have any additional questions, comments, concerns with Unitronic software, or even just the mods that I have on the car, we could link below the video of my 2-year review where I go over the mods on the car. And if you've got any questions on that, feel free to leave one below. But otherwise, we'll see you guys in the next video, and thanks for hanging along.